So just getting back into doing my live streams again. I missed last week because I was working. I did an extra shift on the Sunday night, which means I finish at 9:15 in the morning on the Monday morning. And yeah, by the time I got home, it was too late. And I was tired anyway, and I totally forgot. To be honest, it was only later on I went, oh, bugger. I was supposed to have done my live stream today, so thankfully I hadn't scheduled it. I honestly think it was a mistake doing it because I think I'd said I was really ill before, and I thought, oh, they'd asked me if I could do it, and I thought, I felt obliged to do it because they would have had to have covered my shifts when I was sick, and it's quite difficult to do, especially night shift, because nobody wants to do them. Look at it. So yeah, I was very, very tired, and it didn't help. I wasn't fully recovered, so the illness that I had, well, you can still hear it in my voice anyway. I've still got that cough and things like that. So yeah, so I've got, I was saying on my live there that I added a story element or a subplot to my project because I thought it needed a bit more, because it wasn't, there wasn't enough story. It's what I thought. So I added in a subplot, and then I realised quite quickly it actually needs its own story. So I did some more looking over my outline and thinking about my plot, and I realised I haven't actually filled out one of the plots. There's sort of like two main plots. One of them I haven't sorted out properly. Didn't make it meaty enough, as you like to say. So I'm going to be doing that. So what I was thinking of doing, and I don't know whether I'll do this in a separate video, just add it in here. I've got some graph paper. This is just, you know, it's a graph paper pad, A3. And I've seen people doing plot grids. And there's somebody on YouTube that's doing them. And I thought it was really quite good. It seemed good for story threads. If you've got your main emphasis of what you want in the story and how often it appears. So I've bought the books, the craft books, I can't remember the gentleman's name, that this is because it's explained it all. Book Architecture or Book Architect was one of them, I know that. So I've been going through them as well, because I think even The Great Gatsby was written with this method, or outlined with this method, I should say. So I'm going to do that, and I think that will, like I said, a good way of keeping up with story threads that you've put in that you need to keep an eye on, that don't just, like, you know, go nowhere. Because people pick up on that, don't they? So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I will, yeah, I will perhaps put it in a video, a separate video, or just add it in here. Can't decide. I will decide at the time, as most things do. So that's me. I'm kind of, it's halfway through April. Just finished my live stream, and I will hopefully add in a little bit more interest, more stuff into this vlog, so it's not just me sitting talking to you, to the camera, as usual. Okay? See you later. So this is my plot grid. All I've done is I've put on here, this is the chapter number. The time, this isn't what the time is going to be, it's to help me keep my plot, you know, not having all of a sudden I've jumped 2 days or whatever, just to mark down where everything happens in a particular day. Obviously it's a fantasy set, so we're not going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but there we go. And then this is the chapter title, so I was thinking of titling each chapter, but we'll see. This one here is just the main plot, and then these ones are just going to be where things have appeared, so I can see where I've got all these happening and whether or not I need to balance it out a little bit. So these are the 5 main subplots or story threads, I like to think of them as. And then I'll just fill them out. So like it does have a dragon egg in it, so it appears here, and then I'll put it, I mention it again in chapter 5 or maybe 4. So again I'll write a little bit in here, and then another bit, and then another bit, and then I can see how often it's sort of not necessarily a focal point, but it's part of that plot being mentioned, if you see what I mean. So that's all I've done. This is just it's an extra bit. It's nothing, just maybe put some washi tape over that. And I do have, because I have 24 chapters, so I've got it lined out there as well. And that's essentially it. I will maybe put an image up once I have completed it. So I've been sitting here supposed to do my live stream this morning, but I'm not going to bother with my live streams just now. I want to concentrate on just getting this draft done, and they are a distraction, because I was like, oh, I'll have to make sure I do it. And it's like, I don't know, because it's very early in the morning for some people, and I know I've had people regularly come in, handful of people, but it's like, no, I think I'm going to miss it for just now. I want to get this done. I'm actually in the process trying to write this chapter here, and it's just not coming together at all. So I'm just going to skip it, which makes me think I'm not actually sure if it's a necessary chapter. So I'm going to just continue on with the next one and see how it goes. But yeah, it might not be something I need. And I think that might be what the problem is, why I'm getting stuck on it, because it's not necessary to the story, I think. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Already that arrogant self-judgment is probably starting to sneak in on some of you. But hey, kick it out. Again, this is a free speech zone, and there is no gavel in this court today. Speak, think, and write freely.
So it's April 30th. The end of April, and Campnano was on its last day, and I failed. Well, call it safe failed. I don't see it as that. It's just I didn't manage to do it, and I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's been a strange month, because I was ill towards the end of last month, kind of into the beginning of this one, and then I had to do like more extra shifts at work, and it was just yeah. And I have to say, I'm not really that bothered. I have got it all set. The project I'm working, it's all set, and I've just settled back into the habit that I got into of maybe writing as soon as I'm up, sit down and write. And I hadn't been doing that for a little while, a couple of months actually, but I'm getting back into doing that, and that's been fine. It just means even if it's a little bit, it's a little bit each day. I've also been sorting out, I'm back on Notion, and I'm making up a sort of wiki for my world building. So it's been a lot of fun, but again, that's after the writing's been done in the morning, so I bang my head, it's quite sore. So yeah, so even though I didn't do camp, I wouldn't say this month's been a bust, because I've managed to get things settled and back into a routine, even if it was just in the past week. I have decided I'm not going to do my live streams anymore. I feel that they took time away from my actual writing, which sounds a bit strange because I'm writing in my live streams, but because you're having to set it up and all that, and I'm not terribly great when it comes to, you know, interacting with strangers really, I felt they were a little bit stressful, and I don't need it. I don't need it just now. Even though I enjoyed interacting with the people that did come, there wasn't many because it was quite early for a lot of people. I still felt, it began to feel like a chore rather than something enjoyed. I enjoyed it to start with, and then, I mean, I did enjoy it at the time, but yeah, it was feeling like a chore, especially in the mornings when I was still really tired because I was still coming off night shift, or when I was ill. And it was like, no, do you know what? I'm just gonna leave that and I'll just carry on with my writing, get these projects finished. Not as soon as I can, but you know, just whenever they're finished, and then worry about what comes next after that's done. So I keep scratching. I've also got a sore ear. Falling to bits, so I am. So yeah, that has pretty much been me this month. It's been, yeah, I think it's been an odd month. But things are settling down. I'm now getting back into a proper writing routine after being ill and working a bit more than usual. And hopefully it'll continue. And now that, yeah, the project I was working on, I thought, no, it's not long enough, or not enough story, so I added bits, realised that wasn't working, and then realised I hadn't developed another of the part of it that was in there anyway. So I've been doing that, then I think I've went the other way and overcompensated, and so now, yeah, I've been writing, and there's chapters that are there that I'm thinking, I don't need these. I'm getting stuck on them. So what I've been doing, which I find hard to do, it's still something I'm working on, I just skip it and move on to the next chapter and write that. And I find that hard because I always want to make sure I've done like one after the other. But no, if you're stuck, just skip it, put a marker, footnote, whatever, and a placeholder, that's what I meant, not footnote. Placeholder, and then just carry on with whatever's coming next. And yeah, so I've been doing that. So there's a couple of chapters I need to go back in to do. But because they were so difficult to start with, it makes me wonder whether I needed them or not. I think I might have mentioned that already. So yeah, that is it for this month. I'm just going to be writing as much as I can, basically. I'll try and vlog, although they're never terribly interesting, to be honest. And I will speak to you guys next month. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll speak to you soon.